This episode of Lords of the Storm is brought to you by our sponsors over at Patreon, where you, yes you, can also support the show. Just head over to patreon.com/Lords of the Storm to become a patron today.
Greetings, mortal. That's kind of frightening.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 69 of Lords of the Storm, the weekly Heroes of the Storm podcast for you, the true Heroes of the Storm. I'm your host, Greg Parker, a.k.a. Gizmozord, but you can call me Gizmo. And on this week's episode, we get an inside look on Heroes United, have an interesting discussion on Medivh for this week's Heroes of the Week, and we get to some more listener questions, finally, that we've had building up, but of course joining me this evening is one of the Zord Lords. The other one's off getting married or something. I don't know what's going on. No, he's preparing him.
He's getting married for like the next 3 weeks.
Yes.
The reception's 3 weeks long?
It's a very long drawn out. He's getting married on Saturday, and then he's in Costa Rica for like 2 weeks, I think. So
Yes. 2 weeks. That is a heck of a...
That's a heck of a honeymoon. That sounds amazing. I'd like to go to Costa Rica for 2 weeks.
Me too. Let's do it. Planning it now.
Okay.
But we do have
It's
one
legal
of those...
now for you two to get married. I mean, you could do it.
It's true. I mean, I was just willing to go down on vacation. But if that's
no,
what
you
it
gotta
takes...
honeymoon that.
I don't know how my wife would feel about that. But we'll have to talk about it.
We do have one of the Zord Lords here. It's TBK. A.k.a. Ryan
Hi.
Reeder. Actually, it's Ryan Reeder, a.k.a. TBK. Also known as TBK Zord. How are you doing?
It's true. I'm doing good. Apparently, I wish I was in Costa Rica, but this is still good. This is still fun. We got a guest tonight. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
We do. Joining us for their first appearance on Lords of the Storm. I said first because now you have to come back. That just sets you
I
up
do?
for that. Yes, because it's your first. She's
Baited.
She's involved in Heroes Hype and Hots United. She's been a mother of Murlocs, or Murloc geniuses, that is, and several other teams. It is Miss Artemishowl. Bark. How are
Bark.
you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. I'm not in Costa Rica, but I'm doing good.
Yeah, I'm
We
close
all have
enough.
Costa Rica envy.
I have palm trees here, so I can just pretend.
I do too. I can go
I have-
outside and hug one right now.
I have 100-degree weather. Does that count?
That's
No.
oof.
Nope.
That's more like you're in the Sahara right now. It's close
Yeah.
enough though.
It's very hot.
You're in hell.
Artemis, tell us a bit about yourself. How did you get involved in Heroes of the Storm? I know you were very involved in World of Warcraft for a while. Weren't you a raider? Were you a hunter?
Yeah.
You're a hunter.
You had a hunter podcast too, didn't you?
Yes.
I did. So
The
I know
Hunting
all
Party?
about, the Hunting Party podcast. I actually revived that. It used to be a very old podcast back in the day of Wrath of the Lich King. It was more in its prime. When the creator of the podcast retired, we didn't really have much of a community anymore for like a couple years. And then I was like, hey, hunters, we're cool and stuff. Let's band together and do cool stuff. And the guy came back from retirement and gave me the helm for like the website Warcraft's Hunter Union. And he said I can revive the podcast, got the original podcast members back, and the show is still running even though I retired out of WoW.
Bam. Yeah, it's before I even listened to podcasts, my raid leader always used to yell at me because I was a terrible bad hunter. He's like, you need to listen to the Hunting Party there, Gizmo, and step up your game. So I did. I did not step up my game,
Good.
but I did listen.
So are you going back to WoW for Legion at all?
Not as a hunter, actually. I will. If I do go back, I'm gonna go back as a shaman.
Shamans are quite fun.
That's
Right.
Enhance.
actually the
Enhance.
switch exact switch that I am pondering making because I just want to wield Doomhammer. That was the main reason.
Everybody does.
But I'll probably still have
I'm sticking with my kitty.
Have you guys played the beta at all?
Yes, I have been in it for a while now to test out all the changes. I love how different everything feels now, especially all the hunter classes. Survival's awesome. Raptor Strike is back.
Beast Mastery is actually a lot of fun.
Yes. So many beasts now. But how did you get into Heroes? From what made the transition?
So actually, it's kind of funny. So I moved to SoCal about a year ago, and the regionals for the Road to BlizzCon were in Vegas, and me and a bunch of my friends were like, hey, that's not a faraway drive. Let's go check it out, because Vegas nerds, what could go wrong? I'd never really watched a lot of competitive Heroes before that, and then when I went, I was like, holy crap, this is actually a lot of fun to watch. Like, I need to play this game again. And I started playing it again because I played it in the alpha. I didn't really care for it. It just didn't appeal to me, and none of my friends played it, so why was I there? I was playing Malfurion and stuff, and I had no idea what I was doing. It's my first MOBA, so I don't have that MOBA sense quite. Yeah. So after Vegas, I was like, I need to play this game. And like I met the players and stuff at like some of the after parties, and they're just like, the community is really nice. I still like everything about the scene is just so much better compared to other esports communities, in my opinion, now that I've dwelled upon a couple others. So yeah, then I started playing Heroes, and more, and then I quit WoW.
There's been a lot of that happening, I feel. And this is also like, I feel like this is the first MOBA for a lot of people. I know I had tried maybe like 20 games total in League and hated it. I was horrible. And HOTS came out, and I just instantly fell in love with it. And you're right, the scene is absolutely amazing. Like, the community is just one big family. Everyone gets along for the most part. And it's just been a heck of a ride ever since the launch, which I guess it's been over a year now. I guess 2 years, for the early access and whatnot. But man,
no, it was released a couple weeks ago when the ladder came out.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes, we were talking about that last week.
Everything leading up to this, it's been in beta. That's what I tell my friends. I'm like, hey, the game launched. They're like, what? I'm like, trust me. You'll like it now.
Yes.
Actually, we were. I think I talked about it a little bit last week, but TGN Squadron actually had a recap video that showed how it changed, had footage from like the alpha all the way up to now, and it's pretty nuts how much the game has changed over the last like 2 years.
Yeah. And chat is making a fantastic point right now. Everyone gets along until you start losing.
I mean, I can't say I'm not the happiest when I lose. Winning is always fun. Nobody goes into a Hero League match and says, guys, I want to lose. Like, nobody says that, so obviously, yeah.
I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
In the Hero League match, and then they say, guys, I'm just going to sit in the base.
Guys, I picked Gazlo. I'm ready for this match.
I'm pretty sure my first pick, Novo, that's exactly what she was saying, is I'm ready to lose this. So... And we did. Spoiler. What have you guys been up to in gaming this week? TBK, are you still throwing the Warhammer down, or have you made your way back to the light side? I
pushed Warhammer to the side, and I've been playing just crap tons of Heroes. Got all my placement matches done. There was a struggle bus going on for placement matches. It was really rough. I ended up going like 2-8, which was very painful to me. I went back because I said I'm this season I'm going back. I'm watching all my loss replays so I can kind of figure out what was wrong and try to learn from it and do better. And it was very disappointing watching those because only 2 of the 8 games I lost could I have done anything different to actually possibly turn the tide in favor of us winning. So that was just it was a little demoralizing, but I will get over it. and do some more Hero League. But I did dip my toes into Team League last night with a few guys, and we went 2-2. And honestly, that was probably some of the most fun I've had with Heroes in a really long time. Like, Team League is totally where the pinnacle of enjoyment for Heroes is at, for me, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes this game great, though. It's in its own way compared to other MOBAs. Like, solo queue kind of blows because you can't carry your Nova's mistakes. You know, you can't do that. No matter what you pick, no matter how hard you play your mind out, if you have one person literally just sitting there going, screw you guys, I'm going home, you're going to have a bad time. But in Team League, you can pick your teammates, and even if you guys aren't doing the best, you're still having fun because you're all playing together, cooperating, and you're learning together too.
Yeah, not only that, exactly. Because if you lose, you know why you lost. You know, because you're all there. If you get outplayed, you can all be there. Okay, guys, we got outplayed here, or man, that was super close, but we made these mistakes. You can talk it through and learn from those. Where, yeah, like you said, in solo queue, you can't really do that.
No, agreed. And I've been finding in the solo queue, it's been I haven't had a chance to get through all my placement games yet with family and stuff coming to town. So I'm currently just 3-2. But man, I've found like the games I've won have been super close, super fun games. You know, everyone's actually communicating in the drafts and whatnot. And then the games I lose, it's just really frustrating because you feel really hopeless. Both games, like early on, just, you know, when you should be sitting in lane safely, soaking a little bit of experience, it's like all the teammates just dying, overextending. And so by the time the first objective comes around, we're down a level and a half, 2 levels, and from there it's just like it's gonna be one of those games, I guess. But I don't know. I'm excited. I love the new revamped of the rank mode. From what I've heard, once you get placed, the games have been much better, and I'm excited for the disco balls spinning around for my promotional games.
That's right. And unranked draft. Unranked draft has been a ton of fun too.
Yes,
I've really enjoyed that mode.
it really has. TBK?
I don't play quick match anymore.
No,
I don't hardly
No.
play quick match anymore either.
I will probably just for my first few games on a new hero. That's it. Or if I'm
for
really
sure.
just craving something.
If I want to
but-
play somebody, specifically, that's about it, right? For quick match.
Yeah.
You
Otherwise-
usually get the hero you want to go in with, typically, unless it's like one of the tier 1 players or tier 1 heroes. I don't know. I went in unranked the other day. I'm like, I want to play Greymane, and I would still get it even with last pick. 'Cause everybody's there to try something different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and people are a little more forgiving in that mode too.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
it's what quick match should have been. It's good compositions with whatever heroes you want to play, instead of the 3 tank no support or 3 supports no tank weird stuff. But let's go ahead and get on into the show. TBK, what do we got going on in the store sales this week?
So this week we have Zeratul and the Zerg Hunter Zeratul skin and Funny Bunny Murky. Because why not?
It's
Always
one of
use
my
more
favorite
Murky
skins.
It's I would totally get it if I didn't have Grunty Murky, because I absolutely love
Oh,
Grunty Murky.
Funny Bunny Murky is so much better. You have the albino red-eyed Murky from, I don't know. I was going to say death, but he doesn't die. He lives again.
You tried!
He lives again.
Wah, wah.
I could have turned that
Also-
into something cool, but it didn't happen.
Okay. Also, we have a free hero event coming up on the morning of June 24th and lasting through June 28th. Every hero will be available for play for free for players in all regions. So if you've got any heroes that you want to get to 5 that you don't have for money, this is a good time to do it. If you have any heroes you want to test out to see if you want to buy them, this is the time to do it. So there's going to be some crazy games going on when everybody has access to everything.
Yeah, when's the last time they did this? Did they do it for Heroes of the Dorm?
Yeah, I think they did the last Heroes of the Dorm.
So yeah,
They
it's
did it.
That's right, they did.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's excellent. I'm sure have said 100 times now, just crank them out, get those heroes to level 5, just expand your hero
Yeah.
pool for Hero League and Team League. So
And get the gold.
Yes, more importantly, the gold.
Go.
I will never run out of gold in that game ever again. So I'll take some more
Yep.
though. We had the free hero rotation this week. Not quite as strong as last week's rotation, but still pretty good. We got Raynor, Muradin, Tyrande, Tyrael, Sylvanas, the Butcher, Zagara at level 5, Leoric at level 7, Brightwing at level 12, and Chromie at level 15. I feel like that's super early for Chromie.
Oh, boy.
No, because Medivh's already out. I mean, she's been around for a while. She's just not really that prominent right now
That's
because
true.
she's, yeah.
Yeah. This is the first free Chromie week.
It is.
So-
I love me some Chromie.
Take advantage of that Zeratul store sale and have a field day.
No.
Because it's fun.
But she totally got a buff this week. She's fine.
She
She's
did.
fine.
Chromie did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be talking about it in a second.
Yes, we will.
Chromie buffs.
We also want to give a thanks to Mighty Diomedes. That's how you pronounce that. For the iTunes review. Thank you so much. Give us a 5-star review. And he said, if you're like me and can't get enough Heroes of the Storm, you must listen to the show. Very well done and fantastic hosts. A+. Thank you so much. I'm ranking myself at about a D- today, but it's still passing, so I'm okay with that.
D- is passing?
Did you guys mention the bikini stitches thing?
No, he cut me off. 'Cause
Hey,
I had one other thing I had to mention too. Dang it,
Dang it.
Greg.
Greg.
TPK, what?
Let's
what else we got going
rewind
on?
real fast.
Oh, it's a Chromie spell.
Yep,
Perfect.
that's right. It's perfect
Or
for this
Tracer.
week.
Or Tracer.
Yeah. I just recalled, guys. So as well as the free hero rotation, there is a Bikini Stitches bundle, because this is really cool, because normally you have to buy the plushie, the Stitches plushie in the Blizzard shop to get the Bikini Stitches skin. That was the only way to get it before. But now you can get yourself some sweet Stitches goodness, I guess, in the form of Bikini Stitches, or the bundle therein, if you are so inclined to do that. But it's an awesome skin. Definitely check that out, especially if you play Stitches a bunch. And also, they added the Summer Championship bundle to the store. So the winning team, and we'll talk about that here in a short bit in tournament talk, but they do this every time there's a championship, and the winning team, they put all the heroes and their skins that they used in the winning game on sale as a bundle. So we have Brightwing and Monarch Brightwing, Tyrael and Demonic Tyrael, Greymane and the Ringleader, Tassadar and Mecha Tassadar, and then Falstad and the Buccaneer skin. So that's available as a fairly deeply discounted, is how they describe it in their article. Deeply discounted bundle to the shop. So if you don't have any of those, or if you want some of those skins, definitely check that out.
Absolutely. Now we're going to blink back forward and hop into some balance patches that happened. Oh,
Woo!
yeah.
Why are you cheering? this is the Rhaegar nerf patch.
It
I
is.
know, I'm sad face.
Oh,
Yeah, it's one of the smaller balance ones we've seen, but some big impacts. So we have some Kael'thas, Chromie, and Rhaegar changes. Kael'thas needed this. We all know it's Living Bomb. The damage over time reduced from 84 to 50.
That's not a nerf, that's a buff. What?
However, yes, I didn't read the second part yet. The explosion damage is increasing from 138 to 200. So
I
that
I
is.
don't understand this. I don't
Sorry.
understand this at all.
I just-
Oh my god.
I had assumed
So
I saw Kael'thas and I was like, okay, finally a nerf. Read the first one, okay. Second line, that
So, I mean-
didn't go the way I thought it was going to.
in some ways this is good, because the single target damage on Living Bomb was ridiculous. Like that
Be
that would
ridiculous
and
even more now, though.
Yeah.
it's
It wasn't the ticking damage that was the problem. It's the explosion, especially when everyone's stacked on each other. Now it's just going to be like, he just
Master-
got even more up on the S tier ladder.
Master of Flame is going to be insane now, and that's his level 20 that allows his chain bombs to jump to people infinitely. And I the developer comments is Kel'Thas damage is a bit too high, so we're nerfing his single target living bomb damage. And then it should have ended there, but somehow, for some reason, it still continued. While we were successful at giving him some weakness by reducing his survivability and removing Bolt of the Storm, he is still able to put out more single target damage than we're comfortable with. We want to point him towards being more of an AoE mage, and this is the beginning of that process. Except he already was, and he didn't need anything else. I do not agree with this one at all. This one just needed to be the damage over time reduction and nothing else, in my opinion.
Agreed. That is
Agreed.
a little mind-boggling there. Have fun with blowing your teammates up now. It's going to be even easier to do it than it was before.
Me banned every game still. Woo!
Yep.
That is
Permaban.
we also had Chromie. Just her time trap got a mana cost reduced in half to 25 mana now. Cast range increased by 50%, and the health on it increased from 200 to 300. So some good little tweaks to her. I like the small changes they're making, to try and get her in line with some stuff. She's fun to play. Again, I love her animations. I love just the single target potential she has. And I still, if any of you out there love playing Nazebo as much as I do, let's play together. And if you'll play Nazebo, land your walls, and it'll make my job easy, and I'll love you forever. Artemis, do you want to take on your man Rhaegar?
No.
This is a painful patch.
All right, TBK, let's
Lay
it on
it's
gentle.
Okay,
lay it on
Artemis.
gentle.
I am a Rhaegar, pretty much a Rhaegar support main as well, and so this hits me close to my heart. So basically, what they're doing is they're swapping some damage for heals. So his basic attack damage was increased from 95 to 99. His chain heal, the primary heal amount, was reduced from 372 to 334, and the secondary bounce heal amount was reduced from 186 to 167. So this is a very significant healing nerf to his main heal spell, and it is you definitely can feel it. It's very noticeable. They did increase the damage from Lightning Shield from 60 per second to 64 per second. And then his level 4 Stormcaller talent, the mana return was increased from 3 to 4 per hero hit, and the max mana return was increased from 30 to 40. So, I mean, Rhaegar was definitely the standout support. Right? He's usually the first support picked or the first support banned in any game, depending on what's going on. Very strong. I feel, and this is just kind of and you guys can chime in. I feel like this is kind of a support problem across the board. None of the supports are that amazing right now.
They all have their
Rhaegar
spots.
is just like the best of the
He's
supports.
the cream of the crop. Yeah, because he can do everything. He's got insane mobility. Like, hello, I'm a dog. Bye. He can lock down kills. Like, at level 16, I always pick that totem talent in Hero League. Like,
Oh yeah.
here's a free kill lockdown. Have fun. Like, it's really good. He's got a versatile amount of talent builds he could do in a competitive play. Like, I always see people doing something different in terms of, like, what talents you go with, which is really cool. Chain heal is busted. The fact that you can't ancestral heal yourself kind of makes him weak in terms of what they're trying to do with him being more of a frontliner support, because you can't cleanse yourself, you can't ancestral yourself. It kind of makes him still a heal bot.
Yeah.
On top of the
can't be
healing.
as aggressive
He
as
can't,
you want
right.
to be.
They're
Yeah.
like, we want him to be aggressive, but it's like,
Okay, I don't
he
have
can't.
any reason to go in because then I'm screwed.
I missed those shield talents being really busted. Like, that was kind of fun.
Yeah,
It was. That was a fun 2 weeks.
Rhaegar
This
Cho'Gall.
patch made Rhaegar Cho'Gall, jeez. I mean, that still has pretty good value because Ancestral is never wasted. Well, it can be, but you know what I mean. It still makes Monk kind of very, very competent to be that frontliner. They did just announce they're doing some changes to Kharazim on Reddit, so hopefully that's good. I like Monk a lot. He's got the
His mana
mobility,
trait,
his
I
skill
think, is
shot
getting
mobility.
changed, right?
I think so. Yeah,
think that's
we
what
don't know
they
yet. They said you'll see soon. But he can. The thing is, though, he could DP himself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like that's fair. Cool.
Yeah, because it's, and we talked about this a lot, but it is very similar to an ancestral, other than the fact that it's not a guaranteed proc. But yeah, so it's supports are just in a weird spot right now. I'm really Tassadar is just kind of the
nerf.
all around like filler. Like he just that's the crazy thing about Tassadar. You basically can throw him into any team comp and he just works.
Yeah.
Like because he's Tassadar. He just fits with everything. It's the other supports that Blizzard has. They all have their niche value, but there's a lot of them that just aren't very fun to play. And I like you said, I like the direction they're trying to go. I would love to see some aggressive supports. And if you have to nerf the healing some, that's fine. I mean, I'd be okay with healing nerfs across the board so that you could give supports a little bit more power, right? But at the same time, he doesn't really quite have the tools he needs to be aggressive without putting himself in danger, because he's going to be the first person targeted if the enemy team is smart. If he's up in the front line trying to get those feral lunges off and getting that extra damage off. So it's a weird spot.
Yes. Are you trying to tell me that Medic isn't fun to play, TPK?
It's not that she's not fun to play. She's really boring. Don't get me wrong, but she's countered pretty easily. She doesn't have the mobility necessary. She's still really good in Hero Leagues. People don't know how to dive on Medic, uncoordinated, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. But
you see people ban her quite a bit still.
Yeah,
in Hero
they should give Medic sprint.
I think she should be able to throw the grenade at her feet and like propel herself backwards like Farah.
That'd be so funny. No, what if they gave Medic sprint though? She'd be so busted, like at level 16 or something. Just like you're on the Medic, she's like, nope. Come on, give Medic Bolt to the Storm.
Yes, Bolt and sprint. Let's just do it. Let's go crazy with it. TBK, you actually reminded me of something I meant to put in the show notes but forgot. Of the topic that was on the Blizzard forums of them looking into just overall health changes. Yeah, talking about I don't believe anything's set in stone yet. But talking about how health globes don't really seem, if you're getting
very
outlaned,
impactful.
Not impactful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. There's no reason to, unless you're doing one of the globe stacks to try and get in there and get it. So increasing the overall heal of those. Increasing the cooldown on the healing wells, and possibly nerfing.
Making it give more mana.
Yeah,
I think.
And possibly nerfing, if not completely reducing, passive healing, which would have a huge impact on support players.
Which they decided they are not going to do.
That is good.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would be bad.
They did come back and post. So they did like a big feedback thread on, hey guys, so this is the balance team. We're looking at health sustain across the board, and he mentioned the hero passive regen. He mentioned the wells and the health globes and stuff, and he's like, the actual healing part of it is like a completely different discussion. So they're gonna do something like that at some point, which I love to see that type of stuff, right? The developers posting like, this is kind of what we're thinking, guys, and we're iterating on this. We want some feedback. And so there's a ton of people that left feedback, and so they came back and said, yes, we want to do something more with health globes to make them more impactful, maybe not make them last quite as long, but make them heal a little more, or make them scale percentage based instead of flat value based, so that they're still actually useful in later levels. Whereas, end game health globes are like literally nothing as far as that goes. Making the cooldown of the fountain a little higher, but having to give you back more mana as well. And then, they said, we hear you. Scrapping the health regen on everyone would be a horrible idea because so many mechanics are built around that. So they're taking that one back to the drawing board. But yeah, it was really an interesting discussion. Definitely worth a read through, but I really do like the level of interaction between the devs and the players with stuff like that, especially for big changes like that.
Yeah, and they said this is something that they're looking to do more often, is kind of post their thoughts on the forums to get some feedback, which is good, very good.
And they're everywhere. They're like on Reddit, they're on Twitter. Like they're very, people don't understand. Blizzard's very vocal about their changes. They need work on like releasing stuff on PTR first before it goes live. Don't get me wrong, but they're still very. It's a frustrating thing.
It
But
is.
it's like, what's the point of this if you're not going to let us test it? Anyways, they're very good about communication, which people need to understand that many companies don't have to do what they do when it comes to relaying information.
Yep, I agree. Let's go ahead and hop on into kind of our half main portion of the show this week.
Half
TPK,
main?
half main. We'll
Half
get into
main.
the full main in a little bit. What do we got going on in the competitive scene?
Well, apparently, there was a summer global championship
What?
or something.
One of
Yeah,
those?
it happened like all last week and ended just on Monday.
All last
Crazy.
week? You mean it wasn't 2 like 23.5 hour days this time?
No, no, they actually spread it all out over a week. The production, and this is DreamHack. This was in Sweden. The top 12 Heroes teams from all the regions, and yeah, they spread it out over a week. The production, for the most part, was really, really solid. There wasn't a whole lot of interruptions except for once or twice. The games, holy crap, guys! The level of quality of these games was probably the best I've ever seen. Like it was absolutely insane. If you get the chance, go back and catch some of the VODs. I'm actually in the show notes going to have the VODs for the final match, which ended up being MVP Black versus Tempest. And it went to 5 games, and they were literally 5 of the most insane games I've ever seen. And not just for Heroes, just like esports in general. Because I used to be a big League player for a long time, and I honestly like watching Heroes a lot better than League. I feel like it's easier to follow, but the skill level and the mechanical level of these players was just through the roof. It was absolutely insane. Mosh pits, cleanses, like
Greymane!
Greymane. Oh my gosh, Greymane. The final took place on Towers of Doom, and we had the most insane Greymane play I've ever seen. It was just so good. And so Tempest ended up beating MVP Black 3-2 to become the Summer Global Champions. And like I said, I'm going to link the links to the VODs for that series. Go watch it if you haven't. Like, this is one of the best ways you can improve your play, is to watch the pros do what they do and pick up tips from that, because they're amazing. And I've learned so much just watching those games, like about Greymane. Like Eyes in the Dark, I'm totally sold. Like that's, I use that all the time now, and it saved my butt so much. It's so fantastic. But yeah, I've been really playing a lot more Greymane, almost because of that. It just kind of ignited my my Greymane love. What do you guys think, Artemis? I know you watched probably quite a bit of it.
Yeah, I fell asleep through most of the first. Oh, stop! It's so funny. It's super late, okay? Like, now my schedule is completely nocturnal. Thanks. But it's like, the first group stages, I was like, alright, good luck, have fun. So I get to watch a lot of that, unfortunately. But I did watch the grand finals, for sure. All of it. Not napping through any of them. But yeah, I was really impressed with Greymane. That is all. I'm very happy people are starting to see how good Greymane is, despite the cocktail nerf that he did get ages ago. He still has a place. He's still busted. He's still Baymane.
I love seeing like certain heroes shine in tournaments like this. It feels like every large tournament we have, there's a different hero that shines, and it's, for me at least, like I've mentioned on shows past, it's getting to the point where there's so many heroes And by no means, are we near the level of League of Legends or anything. But to where I just forget about some heroes and don't touch them for a long time. And so I love, tournaments like this that this one highlighted Greymane. I'm super excited to get back in and practice him. I have not played him yet because I've been trying to get through my placement matches, and I sure as heck am not taking him out for a test stroll in that, although I'm sure there are several people doing that because, obviously Greymane's awesome. I can just be magically awesome with him too. See how that works out.
Logic.
That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
I just remember being so hyped when they announced him at BlizzCon. Like, God, I'm so glad he's like prominent in the meta.
Yes.
He's the only assassin I know how to play well.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. We actually saw, I think they said 80% of the heroes were played during the course of the tournament. We saw some absolute insane Tracer play. Oh my gosh. Like, we saw Equinox break out Tracer kind of for the first time in competitive play for the most part in the regionals. But man, some of the teams broke out Tracer and just insane to watch.
Yeah, Equinox probably has the best Tracer, I want to say, in the region. I don't know about global presence yet, but for sure after watching him practice with it, play with it, he is so scary on Tracer. Like, keep that in mind in the future.
And then when you pair it with Tassadar, it's even scarier.
Oh, they're best friends. Yeah, for sure.
They're just best friends.
It's like they hold hands.
Tassadar is really best friends with everybody, though. Let's not
anything melee
yeah.
or good auto attackers.
Yeah,
Tassadar is
they
like
love
everyone's
Tassadar.
best friend, which is why he needs. Maybe he doesn't need to rework. I think Equinox and Chad's right. They need to really look at melees and figure out what is going on. So that's the only reason why Tassadar is really prominent right now.
Yeah, it's definitely, he just pairs super well with a lot of stuff as the game currently is. And so that just makes him, he was played a ton in Worlds. I don't know what his pick rate was, but it was very high for sure.
Pick and bans, yeah.
Yeah, pick and bans. Unfortunately, the NA teams did not do so hot. Gale Force ended up falling out fairly early after, honestly, what was a really good series with Please Buff Arthas. It went to 3 games and honestly, mistakes were made. Let's just be honest. Mistakes were made. But it came down to a backdoor, and Please Buff Arthas was able to pull it out. And so it was unfortunate that NA was knocked out so quickly. But at the same time, on the Western side of things, My Insanity did actually go to the Final Four. So we did have a Western team in the Final Four, which was really cool. And they played their brains out. I was super impressed with My Insanity.
I think one thing to note as well with My Insanity compared to other NA teams is just basically how long the group of guys have just stayed together and played together with no roster changes, but have improved upon any of their mistakes. They truly deserve to be in that top 4 position, and I honestly wish them the best in the future. And I want NA to reign champions, but My Insanity's put a ton of work into this, so I wish them the best in the falls championships coming up.
Absolutely. Oh, for sure. And I think that's a good segue, Artemis, into our next mini discussion. So on the topic of teams staying together, one of the reasons that some of these Korean teams and some of these Chinese teams do as well as they do is partially because their rosters have been together for so long. We're starting to see Europe catch on to that. The Dignitas roster this time around has stuck together for a while. They're not making any changes. They announced in a very comical tweet not too long ago entitled
"That was a great
Dignitas
tweet."
roster changes, and then you clicked on it, and it was just like, none at this time. It's like, oh, screw you, Dignitas. Come on, that was not fun. But it is good. So Dignitas isn't changing. I think My Insanity is going to stick with their roster. And so as far as we know, Naventic is going to stick with what they got.
Actually, they just announced in a press
they?
statement that they just released McIntyre,
Oh,
which is very unfortunate.
well, frick. Did they? Was that just like in the
it
last
just
hour
happened
or
in
so?
in the middle of the
That,
show.
my
that
gosh.
always.
Oh.
Why do we do these on Wednesdays? We need to go Thursdays.
Here. Well, it's not your fault. These guys just came back from Sweden.
It's true.
Oh my gosh.
So-
Okay, so never mind, guys.
Never
Scratch
mind.
that.
Feels
So,
bad, man.
The Ventic is gonna be replacing somebody, and then the other really big news is Fury is getting replaced on Gale
Yeah.
Force Esports for what some might consider a less or a very subpar reasoning for sure.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, like being a former manager of Fury, Fury, I know him as a friend. I know him as a player. I am very upset about his departure. I know every team has their reasons when they want to get rid of somebody.
Yeah.
But if they wanted to just say, like, they should have had a press statement ready. If you see this, the Naventic change, they had a press statement ready to go. It's out there. There's no drama or anything. It's just, we're just replacing him. All it is to it. Cut and dry. That's just, it's very
That's how it
unfortunate
should
for
be.
Fury. It's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
The only reason why I'm disappointed with GFE is because the team wasn't even home yet when they made this announcement. Let alone they didn't have an announcement ready. They're just like, they told them. And it's like, okay. But it still goes to the fact that this team got together in less than 2 months, became the #1 team in the NA. They beat Naventic at the second regionals in Burbank, and they weren't even around that long. So to me, I just really wish teams in general in NA need to just stick together,
Chill.
guys.
Yeah.
Like, put the attitudes and
Chill,
egos to
guys.
the side. You need to have better team mentality. Like, you're never going to solve all these issues if everybody's just constantly in fix of drama or constantly just, like, not respecting teammanship.
And that's one of the reasons I loved and followed Cloud9 so much. Is they, for the most part, have been the same team for a long time, and then
Until they weren't.
and then there's a knife in my heart.
No, it's so true though. I mean, that's probably been North America's biggest issue. Is we have, I mean, people have dubbed it roster apocalypses. Like, that's when you have a term for it, that's not a good thing. Europe went through it for a little while, and like I said, it looks like they're starting to kind of switch that around and figure it out. NA still has that problem a lot, and it's really unfortunate because sometimes it can take months or more to really form a cohesive unit, really get the synergy going, because it doesn't matter how talented you are individually as players. If you don't work together as a team, you're not getting anywhere. In this game, at least.
Yeah.
In League, you can kind of carry based on like single individual mechanical skill, but you really can't do that near to the extent in Heroes that you can in League. So it's all about that team synergy, and that's what was so cool about the finals that we saw at the Summer Worlds, is that you could see the synergy on display. Like, all those guys on those teams were just in sync and just pulled off insane stuff because of it.
Yeah, but if the NA scene keeps this on long enough, for maybe another 4 or 5 years, where we just keep having these roster shifts, everyone will know how to play with everyone. And the NA as a whole will be an unstoppable force. It'll be like one big team, North America versus the world.
Oh my. Yeah. Artemis, did you have anything else on that topic?
Oh, so
Switch gears. Should I have asked?
It's just like, what people don't understand either, it's just, you guys are absolutely right. Like, this is such a team game. Like, you got to treat it like an actual sport at times, because that means you have to be able to drop whatever bad blood you have with somebody, or you don't like how they talk, or you don't like his hair or whatever. Like, you got to this is a game, guys. Come on. And not on top of that, you guys want to be champions. Like, NA needs to start thinking about our global presence to the rest of the community. Like, think about beating Korea. They're not impossible. It's just we need more people to just have a winning attitude, which obviously comes down to the topics previously mentioned. Once we get things sorted there, we have the ability to become global champions again. Nothing is impossible. It's just we keep stumping ourselves with our own attitudes and egos.
Yeah, and I think it's important to mention, we will get there. North America in esports as a whole is, we're still babies. We're learning the ropes, but
I can't even tell you. It's just like, it just comes like real sports. Like, okay, maybe I don't like one of my teammates, but on the field, I'm still going to be like a teammate. I'm going to still help her or respond to her calls or pass the ball to her or whatever. I'm not going to be a dick.
Absolutely.
People need to do that. You drop it on the field.
That is
drop it on the game.
That is life in general.
That is life.
Just welcome to life.
Welcome to life lessons.
My boss makes me do things all the time I don't want to do, but you know what? I do it because I get paid to do it. And the better job I do, the more I get paid. So.
Yep, it's true. Well, I mean, good discussion, guys. I mean, it's definitely something I hope that will change in the future, and I really hope more teams will catch on to that. But let's push that topic to the side. We got some good discussion on that. But Artemis, why don't you tell us about Heroes United? So this is a really cool deal, guys. It's a conglomeration of a lot of these amateur tournaments that have kind of been hanging around. They've got crowdfunding going, and this is really the driving force in the Heroes amateur scene right now. And Artemis, I know you're heavily involved, so why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Hi, so I do stuff in Heroes United, of course.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right. So Heroes United is a Heroes of the Storm organization for the amateur scene. Yay! And what we did is we got the creators and organizers of 4 different weekly tournaments. We banded together. We said, hey, why don't we make a league for the amateur scene that would have like this awesome finale. It would help push these guys to be scouted by top teams. It would help them grow. It would help them just strive for, competitive drive. Like, yeah, you could do these weekly tournaments. They're fun and all, but add a little bit of competitive side to it and give players like a taste of glory. So we were working with Divergent Gaming, Sweet Synergies, Heroes Hype, and Random CS, which hosts Nextverse and Nexaramus. And 4 times a week, you can get a chance to compete to get points to lead up to the finales. Top 8 teams will make it to the grand finale, where there will be a prize pool that we're still generating money for. Currently, we're at $1,700, crowdfunded.
Yes. Yeah, that's
crowdfunded.
Insane. And the tournament's not until the
chat.
July 13th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's still a few
insane.
more weeks to get in. So, but I like this organization because now that we've been doing it for a little bit, watching all the tournaments at once, you can really start to see the players change dynamically. Like, their plays are becoming more crisp. They're drafting a little smarter. Casters are getting exposure because obviously we need casters for these events. Mm-hmm. And it's just fun for the community all around. The finals are going to be epic.
Yeah, it's really cool to see this happening, and I really hope this is something, because Blizzard's been doing. I mean, we are only 2 years in, and they really beefed up their esports that they specifically do for pro teams this year, but they haven't really done a whole lot as far as amateur teams go or smaller tournaments go. So it's really cool to see all these different orgs banding together to actually really push the amateur scene and try to make it a legitimate thing. And it's stuff like this. And so this is different than Chair League. Because Chair League you would describe as like your weekly bowling league.
Yeah, like pickup games. Like here's a scheduled scrim.
Yeah. And whereas
like
this, and Chair League's awesome. Like, Chair League is a really cool thing. What Heroes United is, this is more an actual pro style of tournament. that you would do. So you have like your qualifiers, which is what's going on right now. You're earning your points, and then the top teams of that will get to go to the, World Championship of Heroes United, which and it's being crowdfunded. So these teams are getting incentive to do well, to play, because there's actually money on the line, which is really cool. And like Artemis said, it's almost $1,700. Like, this is insane, and this is all through the Heroes community. And Lords of the Storm is actually sponsoring this, which is really cool.
Woo! Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's really something that really cool that our patrons have enabled us to be able to do. So thank you guys so much for that. There's still a lot of backer rewards. Unfortunately, the Gilly one is all sold out, but there's the DJ Tyrant Stay Tight.
Stay
There's
tight.
Jay Howe thanking you in that, that deep melodious voice of his. Whammo,
Yes.
who does like graphics and is amazing.
Oh,
$20.
insanely good.
$20, and you can get an amazing Twitter banner.
I feel like there's some whammo graphics within sight right now.
It's true. Whammo actually did all of our overlays, which is awesome. He's really cool, and it's a steal, guys.
Yes.
So
yes.
definitely check that out. Yeah.
Support
Did you have
us.
something? Yeah, support it.
You can actually give. Sorry. You can actually give us free money when you click on the donation link in our Matcherino. You click donate, and it'll pop up saying like, "Yo, you got a coupon code." You click it. You type in the word United. You don't have to put in any credit card information, no PayPal, nothing. You give us a free $1 just by typing in a word. Congratulations, you can spell.
That is cool. We will make sure to put that in the show notes too. So you have no excuse not to do it.
It's really cool though, because there's names that people might know already that are currently in the top 8. If you guys are curious about the standings, of course.
Why don't you tell us?
Sure. Let me get the link real quick. Cool. Let me give this to you guys. You can post it in chat. So we do track. We have Sweet Beeps. He's one of the directors at Random CS. He tracks everything on a Google Doc. So while we do have 4 tournaments a week, guys, you can only get points for the top 2 tournaments you did your best in. So if you came first place in all 4, you will only get points for 2 of those tournaments. It's still good practice though, because you get a chance to play against other teams that you will be seeing in the finals maybe. So, but we want to encourage you guys having days off and stuff. We don't want to make it so you're choked into playing 4 nights a week, etc., etc. Anyways, top teams right now include Iambic Pentakill, which used to be Sidestorm Gaming, RFS Gaming, which I am the manager of, so very proud of them.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my boys. Team Blaze, IHOP, which is another team that I'm managing, Miasma Esports, Savage Gaming, Vox Nihila, Infernal Dong Lords, Brawls Deep, Psycom Esport. There's a lot of teams that are known, that are trying to become the best in the amateur world.
There's a lot of these teams. A lot of these teams are from Cheer League too.
Yeah.
Because I've actually gotten the pleasure of casting some of these teams before. So yeah, guys, definitely check this out. And all the tournaments these ranked tournaments where you get points, they're all streamed. And they're all casted community wise. So a Tuesday night, I believe, is Sweet Synergy. Wednesday nights is Heroes Hype. I believe Thursday next verse, or is that Sunday?
Next verse is on Sunday.
Next verse is on Sunday, and then Divergent Gaming. The Divergent Gaming Open is on Friday. I actually casted the last Divergent Gaming Open on Friday. So you can definitely go check that out. There were some really good games, and man, I'll tell you, the new Team Blaze is definitely shaping up. They're looking good. I can't wait to start seeing some of these names in the next Heroes qualifiers for fall, which is going to be cool.
And the other cool thing about this program is we hope that it encourages players to step up to the plate and try to compete for top 8. To me, if we get any of these teams in the top 8 for any fall regional, that's English. That's a success story for the entire organization. So we want you guys to succeed. We want you guys to win money. We want you guys to win swag. We're giving out skin codes during the entire show for the finals. So tune in on July 13th, 7 p.m. PST.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And I just want to mention, love seeing these type of events come together because the amateur scene is the future of our professional scene. It's not
Exactly.
easy to get recognized as a player. There's tons of amazing players and heroes who you've never heard of. So it's people putting these events together, putting these leagues together that are really supporting the heroes competitive scene as a whole in North America, which is really cool. So I really enjoy seeing that.
And in my opinion, we don't have a lot of great third-party tournaments, and it's very important that we always support the roots of our scene.
Yes.
These guys are going to be your next upcoming blood in the top 8. They just need to practice. They need to put in the time, and maybe we'll see some of them up there one day.
Absolutely.
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 Let's go ahead and talk about this next guy a little bit.
Hero of the Week.
All right, so Medivh is here, and this is very interesting. So when Medivh was first announced at the summit event, there were extreme worries of him just being absolutely broken because when we first heard about his abilities, I mean, they're insane. A invulnerable shield for a second and a half every 5 seconds, a freaking teleport, a mount that cannot be attacked and can scout out, fly over terrain, a poly bomb, what? A whole bunch of crazy stuff. And we were expecting him to not have a huge impact on quick match and things like that because you could just tell he was going to require a lot of communication and work within the team as a whole. However, it's really surprisingly, and again, I think this is going to be a hero that it's going to take a while before a team really figures him out. I think he's going to blow our minds one day, hopefully in one of these tournaments coming up. But it's going to be a little bit longer of a road. It's really cool for Blizzard to release a hero like this. It's a very high skill cap hero, I think. But the more important part, I think, is it's a high skill floor. Meaning, in order to be effective with him, you have to be pretty darn good with him.
You have to be a certain level.
There's no just winging Medivh and everything being all right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to put this portal down, and Chromie, yes, please walk through that just right into their team there. That was for Thrall, but you can do that too, I guess.
Yeah.
But he's really cool. And so we're going to talk about a build tonight. And who knows, next week we may see something come out that's completely different and just rock our worlds. But if you're really wanting to give old Medivh a shot, we suggest, possibly giving this one a go.
Yep.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting. Like there's probably a lot of stuff that is going to be viable for him. But it'll be good.
Yes.
I'm excited for him. I'm excited to see what pro teams might be able to do with him.
Yeah. And again, I think it's going to be one that, they're going to have to, I think it's going to be like some crazy comp that we see that just blows our minds before we see him come out. But let's go ahead and just kind of give an overview of the basic abilities for those that don't know. I'm sure most people do. But for his Q ability, we're going to have Arcane Rift. It's 60 mana on a 7-second cooldown. You just shoot a rift in a straight line that deals 399% damage to all enemies in its path. If you hit an enemy hero, it reduces its cooldown by 5 seconds and refunds 30 mana. So this ability, when it was kind of shown, it didn't look like it really did that much damage. It does a surprising amount of damage. He has great wave clear, especially, if you're poking at somebody in lane and you're able to hit them as you're clearing the wave. Overall, I love the ability. I think it's great. TBK, what do we got on his W?
W is the ridiculous thing. Force of Will, 50 mana on a 5-second cooldown. Protect an allied hero from all damage for a second and a half. This thing is so strong and so annoying, but it does not protect against CC.
Correct.
So but it is a game changer from blocking like a Nova triple tap or precision strike, or blocking a big initial burst damage from like a Jaina Blizzard or a Kael'thas Living Bomb or something. Or a Poison Nova, like especially that's crazy. It's so useful.
It is, and you're gonna want to create just a ton of macros on your keyboard. Make one for Thrall, make one for Illidan, make one for Kerrigan that you can just hit that and it says go, and then that way they'll know you're gonna put the shield on them. Otherwise, it's kind of frustrating playing this solo queue and throwing it on somebody to get in there and they just run away with it. But it's on a 5-second cooldown, so really it's okay.
It doesn't
because
matter.
it's a 5-second cooldown. That's crazy. Artemis,
Yeah.
what do we have for his E?
His E. I don't even remember what his E is.
It's
Oh no, it's his teleport.
yes.
Yep.
Yes,
Oh.
I did it.
And it's a very unique teleport. From the other teleports we have in the game, because we've had a lot of them recently. But this, you can you create the portals, you pick the placement, and actually even just the base ability has a very long range. So it's excellent. It can send multiple players through. You just click on it to channel it. Very short channel to get through. So
You can hide them too.
yes.
They can't see the enemy team can't see the endpoint. So if you do it right, you can just scare some people.
Absolutely.
Ooga booga.
So another cool ability, again, gonna be a little tough to use in solo queue. I have seen some cool uses for it. As far as like for jukes and stuff, people chasing people back and forth. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. I mean, right now, the biggest usefulness right now seems to be for Medivh himself.
Yes.
To get himself out of trouble.
Yeah, that's all my Medivhs do it for.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Thanks.
definitely frustrating. It's going to be a mindset thing, right? People are just going to have to get used to this and get used to clicking and trust. I mean, that's a huge issue too, because if you're in the middle of a fight, a portal goes down, you don't know where this thing is going. You could click on it and it could put you on the other side of the enemy wall for all you know.
I don't know
So-
if you're helping me right now or giving me new ideas to torment my
Yeah.
match.
Oh, gosh.
It's Medivac all over again. Just click it. Come along for the ride. We're gonna go on a magical journey to death.
Yeah, that's right.
We're gonna go on a magical journey to your death.
For his ultimates, for his first one, we have Polybomb. Polymorph an enemy hero, suppressing their attacks and silencing them, of course, for 2 seconds. On expiration, Polybomb spreads to other enemy heroes. There can be sheep all over the place. And what's the best part about this?
All over the place.
It can be unlimited.
Yep.
I have literally
It can change.
seen like 3 or 4 sheep on the screen for a good 10 seconds.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, that was my team.
That is a very uncoordinated team.
I was one of those sheep.
Oh,
It
no.
was. We all
Yeah,
we had the right idea to run away from each other. Unfortunately, we just kept running the same direction. So it happens.
That's rough. And it's only a 40-second cooldown,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
which is insane as well. Like that thing's up constantly.
Yes. TBK, what do we got for his second ultimate?
His second ultimate is Leyline Seal, 75 mana cost on an 80-second cooldown. After 0.5 seconds, to unleash a wave of energy that imprisons enemy heroes in stasis for 3 seconds. And the wave is pretty dang long. And this thing can be insanely powerful. It's not necessarily, it's not quite what a Void Prison is, but at the same time, it's almost better in some ways because it doesn't affect your team, which is super nice, which allows you to position that much better.
I like Void Prison though, just because you can use it slightly defensively, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. But no.
Yeah.
This
And
really
this-
does
yeah,
help
this
you
is
line up
defensive.
stuff. It's just that's what makes Medivh so good though. Like he's just utility, insane utility. I think his Q needs a little more work though. Anyways,
Yeah.
No, it is good. Like you and in some ways you could use it defensively as well, just for disengages when everyone's clumped up, or in choke points where everyone's clumped up. You can get a lot of use out of it for setup, but you can't do anything cool like throwing a void prison on a core to stop a backdoor. Was that
Yeah.
Too soon.
Well, I mean, oh, that's too. Oh, I just got that reference. I just got that reference. Not like this.
okay? Mike Udall Zord, we feel for you.
We love you at all.
It was still better than any void prism I've ever had in my entire life.
I mean, I've never landed a void prism, so you did good in my books.
It's hard. It is hard.
It's hard.
If you haven't,
Zeratul is a hard hero to play.
if you've ever given a Zeratul crap for a bad void prism and you've never played Zeratul, then
Yeah,
you
you're
just
done.
hush, because it is, especially with the range decrease that happened a while back. It's hard out there for Zeratul.
It's rough.
It's a rough life.
But yeah, I agree. His Q could use a little bit. Like I said, it does more damage than I was expecting. But
Still slightly underwhelming.
yes, especially for how, and this is the hard part. Like, if you're wanting people to be able to play him in solo queue, then absolutely it does. But it's gonna have to be real careful here. Once we see him break into the competitive scene, if it could turn into a mess pretty quickly.
I think
Yeah,
we
'cause
will
he
see him in
wasn't-
competitive.
He
too.
wasn't available for any of the worlds or anything. So
Correct. Yeah.
that's why you didn't see him. But now he's gonna, as soon as the fall regionals start, he'll be open for use, and I definitely think we'll see some play from him.
Yeah,
I agree.
and I think it's worth mentioning, just in case you don't believe us of how difficult of a hero this is to play solo. His win percentage right now on Hot Slogs is a whopping 25%.
25%. I don't even know if Chromie fell that low.
No, this is the
No.
lowest we've had. I think the lowest Chromie got was like 28 or 29.
No, see, Chromie can still she can still pump some insane numbers out, and
Yeah.
she's still a good Chromie is annoying. Not the what is that rewind alt? I hate that alt.
Oh,
That
yes.
alt actually pisses me off. Whenever
Yep,
I play
'cause
against
it's-
Chromie, I'm like,
a
oh, of
guaranteed
course I
Chromie
just
kill.
got one shot. Yeah.
Mhm.
That pisses me off.
Where you're like, oh, I avoided that combo, and then a second later,
Yeah, I'm
you're
like,
back
oh,
where you
what's up?
started.
Dodged it.
Dang it.
Yeah, you're always like, oh, cool, I can't do anything to defend myself against this. They'll always put it on support, too. Like, when I'm on Rhaegar, I'm like, cool, what can I do? Ghost Wolf?
You can ancestral heal
Ancestral
yourself.
yours-
Oh, man.
yeah. Too soon.
Still salty.
TBK and I were on the same page that time. That rarely happens.
I know.
Rarely. But let's kind of go ahead and hop into a little bit of a build here and discuss our way through this. TBK, what are we going to go for level 1?
So level 1, and so the what you need to know about Medivh is he has mana issues. Medivh's got big time mana issues, and so I like to go with Raven's Intellect, which Raven form increases Medivh's mana regeneration by 100%. And as a Medivh, you will spend a decent amount of time in Raven form, as that's your free scouting thing. Like, if your team has a Medivh, you should never get bush ganked, because your Medivh should always be able to spot it, because the Raven form can go absolutely anywhere, and you are completely immune to everything. So while you're flying around, while you're scouting stuff out, while you're moving to your next objective, you go into Raven form, you get a nice amount of mana regeneration.
And if you see a Medivh die from face checking a bush, you're going to have some problems that game.
Laugh at him.
Yep,
It's
not good.
Yes, there's some cool talents on this one. Honestly, all of his talents are pretty darn neat, and it's interesting again because there's him being such a utility hero. None of these really affect damage against different comps or anything. It's all just a whole bunch of different crazy stuff. Like Portal Mastery, you can place both ends of your portal. I have not tried that yet. It seems too difficult for me to handle. Let's be honest here. Stable portal.
It definitely would up the skill
Yes.
cap for that.
Increase portal duration. Cool stuff there. But for level 4 here, There's two that we're kind of going to go. We can go with Bird's Eye View, which permanently increases Raven Form's vision range by 25%, and you can activate to increase this bonus to 200% for 5 seconds. So, if you're going more on, say a map like Cursed Hollow with 2 bosses and stuff, it can be useful there. Not having to go all the way down there because his vision is kind of small in his Raven form originally. So just some nice utility there. Or you can also go Dust of Appearance, which you activate to reveal enemy heroes in the area surrounding Medivh for 10 seconds, and it does not cancel Raven form. So great against Steers, Air Tools, and Novas, of course, and Greymane now.
Yep, for sure. That's usually when I'll take that talent. If there's somebody who can do some sort of stealth on the team, I'll go that. If there's not, then Bird's Eye View will give you, in general, a lot more a use.
Yes. Artemis.
Yeah.
What do you want to take for level 7 here?
Level 7. Arcane Charge. Always.
Yes. So an arcane, it damages enemy hero. The next arcane rift deals 25% more damage. So this is just buffing the little bit of damage you have here already, it's nice. And again, he does have some pretty darn good wave clear.
Okay, guys. So no, go ahead.
I was gonna say because your Q resets when you hit a hero.
You can spam that thing especially if you're in a team fight or in lane if you can aim it right because it's a decent range on your Q.
And worth mentioning, it does not stop at the first hero hit. It goes through. So it's really great in those bunched up team fights.
Okay, guys, raise your hand if you accidentally went Master's Touch once because you didn't read it and didn't realize that it reset on death. Just me?
I can't raise my hand, but pretend I am. Pretend I'm staring at you.
Yeah. I took that the first time. I was like, hit 35 enemy heroes. I can probably do that. That shouldn't be too bad. An extra 100 damage and a cooldown reduction. That's cool.
Neat.
It resets on death. Crap.
Is it bad that I've picked that several times and this is the first time I'm actually seeing that? And it explains a lot bit. Because I thought it took a while to get. Granted, it is very difficult.
I thought I had 20. Why do I have 9?
It is very difficult to die on Medivh. It is.
Yeah.
You have plenty of tools to get yourself out of there. So.
But you are very squishy. He is not a sturdy hero at all, and he is very susceptible to CC because of that. And so you can very easily shut down a Medivh, especially if he takes Master's Touch.
Yeah, but as long as you're careful with your positioning, avoid stuns. You'll have enough time to get that bubble on yourself and get out of dodge with your handy dandy teleport.
Overall, Arcane Charge is probably going to be your best value because Medivh doesn't do a lot of damage. He really doesn't. You have 1 damage ability, and that's your Q. And so if you can buff your 1 damage ability, it's not a bad thing at all.
Yep. Level 10 here, it's just going to be situational. Pick your poison. Polybomb's fun. It's awesome. I prefer
good against melee comps.
Yes.
Good against melee comps.
It's excellent. Melee comps, tights, corridor fights. Keyline Seal, it's good. I don't prefer it in most situations, just again because I'm bad with Void Prism, so I assume I'll be bad with this. I'm just saving my team there.
Leyline Seal is definitely, I think, the higher skill cap of the 2 ults. And once we get to level 20, there's an incredible upgrade for it.
It's almost cheating, one could say.
Yeah, it's almost cheating. They can cause it to be incredibly powerful, but like Artem said, especially on melee heavy teams, and we are seeing a lot more melee heavy teams in this meta.
Yeah, it's just how the meta's shaping up.
And there's Grubby. If you've ever heard of Grubby, he streams.
Who's that?
What?
Yeah, who's that guy? He's a really cool dude. He makes a lot of Heroes content. He streams a lot of Heroes. He actually had a really fun video of him as Thrall taking Earthquake with a Medivh that took Polybomb.
Oh
And
no!
Wow.
It is an absolutely insane. Like I would almost 99% of the time you want to take Sunder on Thrall, right? But if you have a Medivh on your team that you're talking to, Earthquake will give you almost unlimited Polybomb, and it's absolutely insane. So
That's really cool. I love
Yeah,
finding
quick tip.
those new
That's actually
combos.
funny.
Uh,
Yeah, that's great.
I still haven't seen the combo I've been waiting to see, and that's Dahaka tonguing somebody through a portal, which I'm hoping
Or
to see soon.
Stitches gorging somebody in.
Yes.
yeah,
Waiting for that.
over to the other side of a wall or something.
It's weird because Medivh is out now, and I'm for some reason seeing a ton of Dahaka, especially
Dahaka's
in
really good.
Hero League now, which you hadn't seen. Like he kind of just disappeared, a couple weeks after he came out for a while, but he's making his return. Now we just need some more Medivhs out there to play.
It's kind of like an Uberak, though. People didn't really see his importance until like Stray showed up at regionals. It's like, hey guys, this guy absolutely destroys Lee Mincoms. Pick it.
Yeah, this guy crushes everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
and
mean, he's
it's
just
all
good
because
in
of
general.
his new talent, like his new level, his new Dampen Magic at level 1.
Oh, Dampen
is
Magic
insane.
is a must take. I don't
Yeah,
know why
it's
anybody
insane.
goes differently. And, honestly, they're
Can you
It's
not
unranked.
take it right now?
no. Like when I see people tank and I'm like, look at their talents. I'm like, all right, I'm not a main tank, buddy, but we need to have a talk.
Yep, Dampen Magic.
All the way.
All right. Level 13 here, Artemis. What are we going?
What are we going for? Quickening,
Yes.
typically? It usually just, I don't know, I feel like level 13 can be situational.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like Winds of Clarity a lot, though.
Um,
Or Celerity. I just looked
Celerity?
at this. It's the
Yeah.
Celerity. I've called it Clarity
Winds
for a
of
long
Clarity.
time. No, I'm actually going to have to disagree with Quickening, because I think if you go with the level 4 talent, Bird's Eye View, you will be, or just in general, like having that extra mobility is just incredibly useful. It's especially when you come into late game, you can just quickly go to where you think the enemy is. Maybe they're on the boss. Your team's in Africa, but no big deal. You got that. You got that stuff locked down, scouted.
You're seeing it.
Yeah, quickly though, and you're able to get back, respond quickly. That's like my new favorite word, apparently. Put down portals and get to action. So I don't know. Winds of Clarity.
Yay, Artemis, you passed the test. That was our test in there for you to see if you'd catch it, and you did. I'm just
I like.
I know some things, okay?
I like Winds of Celerity in solo queue for sure, or if I'm playing Medivh in a quick match or an unranked draft or something like that. Quickening I really like in a full team comp because you can use your portal so much more effectively, and portal has a decently long cooldown, and so reducing that by 50%. Can be a really big deal, especially if you take at level 1 instead of your mana talent stable portal, which increases the duration of it by 50%. It can basically give you 100% uptime on your portal, which is pretty insane too.
I've actually I have never tried quickening, so I can't really speak on that. I have done astral projection though, which I've done some cool things with, just because the range on it when you get that is absolutely ridiculous. So you
Because
can
portal
really,
already has a pretty big range.
yeah, this makes it like past the screen. So if you're screen locked, you can just click anywhere on there and get a portal down. But the Winds of Clarity. Now the Winds of Celerity, excellent, especially on those very large maps like we were saying earlier. Cursed Hollow, things like that.
Sure.
Level 16.
Any data is useful.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
like,
any
just being able to
vision-
gather.
Vision is king
Yeah.
for sure in this game.
That is a good point, TBK, especially on, when you're solo queuing, because even if you're not able to, use your other abilities effectively, your team would have no excuse to not, have a pretty darn good understanding
guys,
of where
pointing
people
this
are at.
out. I found them. They're right here
just look at your
doing
mini
this
map,
stuff.
people.
Oh, you're gonna stay over? Okay. Well, I tried.
For 16 here, we have a Circle of Protection. An untalented force of will is also applied to allies near the target.
It's so good.
So this,
It's so good.
here you go for the new Kale Thas nerf, in quotes.
Nerf. Sick Nerf Blizzard.
Yeah, we'll show you. But no, this is really cool. Again, melee heavy comps, the thing right now. So if you especially run some sort of dive comp, you can get that on 2-3 people in there at a time that have a second and a half where they can just unleash havoc.
Yeah, it's an incredibly powerful talent, especially for melee comps. If your Medivh is on a melee comp team, just because they'll probably all be near each other anyways, and so now you're shielding 3, sometimes 4 people for a second and a half every 5 seconds.
Yeah, and
which is no damage.
It's great for disengagements as well. Your team's on the ropes running away. You can save multiple people instead of just one, which is nice. And then level 6 or 20 TBK. So many things to pick from. What are we going for?
I couldn't pick one. Like, they're honestly all situationally useful. So you've got Arcane Brilliance, which you activate it, you instantly restore 200 mana to all nearby ally heroes and grant them 10% ability power for 10 seconds. This one is super, super strong. It's only on a 60-second cooldown.
It's but like with the rest of his level 20, it's very situational. I would only use it in if you have like a more mage-oriented comp.
Yep.
To be honest, but
yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily, if your team's a lot of auto attackers, that's probably not going to be the strongest.
No, for sure.
But yeah, if you've got like a Li Ming and a Kael'thas on your team, first, congrats, because you drafted against people who didn't know what they were doing. But also, yay, because that's ridiculous. Then you also have Guardian of Trisfal, which is actually really cool because it brings Medivh's wave clear up to god levels. Minions and catapults hit by Arcane Rift are instantly killed.
Rip.
Instantly killed. So if you're having issues or you need the extra wave clear, or maybe you have 2 keeps down and you need some help getting your lanes pushed back out, but you're still, have a fighting chance for the game, Medivh's like, 1 sec, guys, goes and jumps in his Raven form, completely invulnerable, drops right in front of the line of minions, 1 Arcane Rift, bam, they're all gone. Even the catapults. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely viable in certain situations. Then you have Glyph of Polybomb, which Polybomb explodes 1 second sooner, and the spread radius is increased by 25%. So this is a big sheep bubble, guys. It's a big sheep bubble, and it's good. Again, Polybomb is what you want to take against melee teams. So if you find that the enemy team is clumping up a lot, this just makes it even easier to get multiple Polybombs off.
Yeah.
Invisibility, you stealth an ally hero for 20 seconds. This seems like it would be really situational. I've not taken this one personally. I'm sure there would be times when it could be decent, but I would say most of the time some of these other talents would probably outshine it unless you had a specific strategy in mind for it.
It's really good if you have a Zeratul or a Nova on your team. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Are you being sarcastic, right?
Yes.
Aww.
Come on, give me a little credit here. Just because I continued to pick the Master's Touch doesn't mean I can't read completely.
Yeah, you've lost all credibility.
That's savage. I won't stand for that kind of bullying here.
Thank you, Artemis.
You're welcome.
Wow.
We have a new spot open on our show.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Sorry, Multi.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And finally, we have Medivh Cheats. It increases the duration of the stasis effect from Leyline Seal by 33% percent, and you gain the ability to redirect the wave once it's active. And this can actually be insane. You can catch an entire team in Leyline Seal with the redirection. I actually was in a game that a Medivh, an actually very good Medivh, took this, and we were on lockdown team fight wise for the rest of the game after he got this. It was used so well. So there's a lot of potential in that too.
Yeah. I want to point out Draven Dresden in chat. This is actually a cool combo that could be, this is level 20 talent, so this could be, like a game-changing combo. ETC with Mosh Ready invisibility.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so able.
Yeah.
My favorite is Butcher and Medivh right now.
Yes.
Oh, with the invisibility talent, and I just go.
That's
I
terrifying.
go it is, and I go the Furnace talent 2 at 10, so I just like stealth and I wait for some poor innocent person to pop out and.
Oh man, fantastic.
Yeah, there's definitely it's a niche talent, but there's definitely some really cool combos you can pull off, and I think that's really sums up Medivh in general, right? Is he's an enabler. He's just so.
That sounds kind of bad. He's an enabler.
Oh.
Let me fine.
Title
I'll
of the
rework.
show: Medivh the Enabler.
He enables. He enables a lot
He's
of cool
abusive.
stuff that you couldn't do before, and he actually brings or makes certain comps or certain heroes viable that may not have been before because of some of the stuff he can do.
Yeah, and it's just going to, that comes with the caveat of it's going to take a while to find those things, but there's going to be awesome things out there for it. So, again, just, if you've had no interest in playing Medivh,
That's fine.
It's absolutely fine.
That's fine.
Don't worry.
Anyway.
Don't worry.
There will always be enough Medivhs out there. You may be the hero that the Nexus needs, but you're not the Medivh the Nexus needs. There we go. That didn't work. But yeah, you just sit on it. If you're thinking about buying them, sit on it for a little bit. Let's see what happens here.
Try them out when all the heroes go free.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
24th through the 28th.
Just don't queue in
see
Hero
how you
League.
feel.
Yes, don't queue in Hero League. This is quick match
Go
fun,
away.
and even unranked draft mode. There you go.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't get
Oh.
banned, so
Oh no, he doesn't.
take him in there. Artemis, you got any last minute advice for somebody who's wanting to try out Medivh in solo queue? There's
No,
not
I
really
mean-
much you can say.
No, because I don't play. I don't know. Maybe as a support main, I should be playing him, but I actually don't play a lot of Medivh.
Yeah.
I did buy him day one, but I don't see him being fun in any kind of unorganized structure.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
maybe I just suck and I need to get better at him. So there's
No,
always that.
I think that's pretty much just the general consensus. It's going to be one that you really, unless you play with people regularly, it's not somebody you're going to, just sit around and practice in solo queue, because you're not going to have those predictable situations to where you need to get
Yeah.
this stuff done.
And you're going to get frustrated because you're going to do awesome portals that will save everyone, but no one clicks on them.
Yep.
Yeah, you're going to throw awesome shields down that enable people to do huge damage, and they're going to run away.
Yeah.
That's solo queue with him will probably be very frustrating.
Yes.
And a very good Medivh will probably be able to help win some games, but on a whole, he's going to be way better, and you're going to enjoy him way more in a team league or a tournament type scenario.
Yeah, and we will continue to keep like our eye on Medivh, see what happens, see if there's anything exciting. If some crazy build comes out that is blowing people's minds and is easier to play, we'll make sure to cover that. So, TBK, what do we got going on for community content this week?
So this week I wanted to highlight two little things. One was a really cool Reddit post that someone made after the Heroes Championship. And I hope that after today, we will see less HOTS as a casual game that doesn't need any competitive scene.
Hell yeah.
And it was such a good post, and it pointed out like all the really cool stuff that was really shown off in the worlds. Like goes through all the critical, HOTS is not entertaining to watch. You can't see individual skill. I don't watch pro games, so I'm not affected at all by it. HOTS games are boring because it's always stomps. Like that type of thing, and it kind of goes through these HOTS critic type stuff and kind of debunks them one by one. It's a really good post, and there's a lot of work put into it, and I think especially with the worlds going on and the level of skill and how good and how close some of the games were, like I'm just so excited for BlizzCon now. Like
Definitely.
It's gonna be mind blowing, and I'm gonna be there in person for the first time.
You can be there front row with me this time.
For the first time.
Let's go. Let's go front row this.
Front row, and it's gonna be so much fun to watch in person. Like, I just want to be a part of that energy. Like you could really see it on the stream, people cheering, everyone getting excited. It's such a fun game to watch. And so I'm really excited to watch it with a bunch of other people who are just as excited about it as I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is just a really cool thing from Blizzard. A lot of people have heard of Carbot Animation, and they do the absolutely hilarious Heroes shorts, as well as Warcraft, StarCraft. They're amazing. Like,
have you seen
Carbot,
any of the Overwatch ones?
No,
what's
I
it
have
called?
not yet.
Oh my gosh.
Overwatched?
Overdone? Or no, I forget what it's called.
I think it's Overwatched or
basically anything
it's
they do is
hilarious,
gold.
though. Yes.
Yeah.
The animations are so simple yet so perfect. They fit. It just fits so well, and it's everything you've thought about whenever you play a hero. Like Kael'thas is a pretty boy. It's brought out just perfectly. Or Uther just being a freaking
so
turd.
well
You should hit that healing fountain.
Yeah, screw you, Uther. But yeah, it's really cool. But they actually, I believe it was a Korean children's hospital, and they did a huge mural for them in their art and donated that. So just really cool deal from Carbot. They're really good guys over there. Definitely check that stuff out if you haven't.
Absolutely. So we do have some listener questions this week. We are starting to run over a little bit. So we're not going to get to all these. I do want to hit on a few real quick that are just kind of quick answer here. So first one we have, and I know, Artemis, you have opinions on this because you posted them in our Discord. This is from D the Hunter. Should they be more active on banning heroes from Hero League and Team League when they have a bug that could be game-changing?
Yes. 110% yes. Well, it's just like, once they announce that something is bugged and they don't ban it, people start playing it. They don't really care.
Take the Kael'thas, die with your deactive, free living bombs all the time.
I mean, the Tracer thing was pretty bad. Like, it could pretty much one-shot any hero at level 20.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like, they just need to be able to respond to it quicker. They're very good about it already, but... Yeah.
And I mean, at least we have an avenue now. It used to be we didn't even have an avenue to ban that character.
Yes.
If there was something broken, at least we can ban now. But at the same time, we shouldn't have to waste a ban on a bug. And so that I completely agree. Whenever that comes up and becomes common knowledge, that needs to be shut down very quickly. And hopefully Blizzard has stuff in place or is getting stuff in place to do that on the fly easily.
Yeah. And let's see what else we got here. We got one from Freak Elite or Freak Zord, Freak Elite Zord. Again, I don't know if you got that resolved with with Thor Zord Freak. We'll have to see. Do you think there would ever be characters from different Activision games included, or even characters from different universes altogether, such as Mickey Mouse? How cool would that be? I do not think we'll see a Mickey.
Mickey Mouse in the next. Good boy.
I don't know. Sorcerer Mickey Mouse could be pretty cool, but no, I don't think we'll see any. Anything that far. I also don't think we'll see anything from other different Activision games unless like Activision just completely takes over Blizzard. this is it's a Blizzard universe. It would be really weird to see like a Destiny character and stuff. And those games don't really. There may be a few that you like could build an actual hero from, but for the most part, there's nothing like super unique to build a hero off of.
Now, if Blizzard came up with another IP, then yes, I could totally see that. I mean, it's just like Overwatch.
More arcade heroes.
Yeah, and the other thing is there are so many heroes in the Blizzard universe that need to be put in this game eventually. Like, it's just there's maybe
so
like 20 years down the line.
They have so much. Yeah, they have so much content right now to think about just within their own universes before they even think about going outside.
Agreed. And then one last quick one here again. And if we didn't get to yours this week, we will get to them. Who or what do you think will be the next 2 Overwatch heroes introduced into HOTS? And this is from Midget.
Good
question.
Good.
There's so many. It's hard to tell, but the 2 that popped into my mind are Zenyatta. I think would be an awesome support with a cool kit, and one because we need another support. And
we do.
Winston,
We do.
I think would be cool for another tank.
Yeah.
So
I want Lucio badly. People don't listen. Lucio
there's
is
so many good ones.
Well, it's just like you got to think about heroes that could have potentials for 2 ults. I think Lucio has. He could be like that healer chick in League. The chick with the. I don't even play League that much. Why am I even talking like this? The one with the passives, the 2 passes. She literally has 2 passes that are like speed and health. Sona, yeah.
Sona, yeah. It's been a long time since my League days.
I think it would be cool to see a Reinhardt in here too.
Reinhardt.
Dang it, Greg.
So cool.
You can't take
gotcha.
mine.
Obviously,
his
shield would have to be like, it would be one of his abilities. Maybe like puts the shield up for, I don't know, 2-3 seconds. That time frame that shield's up would have to be balanced very carefully, because that could get real weird real quick. But he'd be fun, his charge, his ult, his hammer down.
He's got a very unique kit.
Yeah.
That we really don't have yet in Heroes.
Well,
so I think he would make an amazing tank.
Yeah, and he has the shield, the fire strike or flame strike, the charge. Bam! There's his 3 basic abilities, and then his hammer down.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a very cool kit that is really not represented in Heroes right now. So I think that'd be good. And then Pharah, I think could be pretty cool.
Yes.
Something very and I mean Pharah is already kind of what is that game? Tribes.
Yeah.
Style character.
My issue is I don't know how she would be able to work because she has a jump. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's something again. Like you got to think about a MOBA. Yeah, she works really cool in a MM or what
FPS.
What game is this? FPS game. But sorry, she doesn't.
It'd be something like a dwarf toss, I think, and then
Right.
maybe like her
flying character introduced though. I mean, we have Medivh now, so flight and invulnerability is a real thing. It's quite possible.
Though? That's quite OP.
I mean, it's all about balancing, right? And at Blizzard, I've pretty good confidence in Blizzard that they can come up with cool kits and ways to make stuff work. The ultimate could be really, really cool. The missile swarm and so yeah, I was gonna say Reaper, but I feel like
Reaper would be better fit.
I feel like he'd be very similar to Vala.
Well, it's mainly just that ult is.
Oh yeah,
really
it's
hard
straight.
Yeah, I mean it is the exact same thing.
It is.
Well, I might as well have a Reaper skin.
It could be like just a shorter range, higher burst damage type thing.
I would love it. I love Reaper. Like he's one of my favorite Overwatch characters. Just I love the look and I love the play style of him. But yeah, there's a lot of really good Overwatch kits that could be good in Heroes.
Gonna be exciting.
Not Widowmaker though.
Don't hurt my dreams.
Rubbing salt in that wound.
Stop it.
It's okay.
Mm.
Well, that is about going to do it for this week. Make sure you guys check us out. The show can be reached in several ways. You can find us in-game. Just type /join lots /join space LOTS to find us in-game. We're on Twitter at Lords of the Storm, Facebook.com /Lords of the Storm podcast. You can email us questions or pictures of your dog or whatever you want at lordsofthestorm@outlook.com. Yes.
I'll take those.
CC Artemis on those emails. We're on Twitch at twitch.tv/Lords of the Storm, where we do our live shows, of course. And coming up here shortly, I promise, our Monday night custom games are coming back, where we'll be streaming those. You can find us on the Zord Network at www.zordnetwork.com. Of course, you can join our Discord. Can't, pimp that thing enough. It's an awesome community. So many amazing folks in there. It's one big happy family of people to play games with. So it's a perfect place to find a group to play if you're wanting to try out Medivh. There you go. And then we also love it when you guys leave us 5-star iTunes and Stitcher reviews. And then if you want to support the show, which many of you who continue to blow our minds do, you can do so on our Patreon at patreon.com/Lords of the Storm. However, you can also find us individually. You can find me on Twitter at Gizmozord, on Twitch at twitch.tv/Gizmozord, and on Convert to Raid Presents, the new format for the Convert to Raid podcast, talking about all things BattleNet news. TBK, where can you be found?
You can find me on Twitter at TBKZord and on twitch.tv/TBKZord, where I normally stream and cast Chair League games Mondays and Thursdays.
All right. And Artemis, where can the people of the Nexus find you?
Well, I'm not a cool streamer, but you can find me on Twitter at Artemishowl_. I'm always in Discords. I don't want to show you guys how many Discords I'm in, so I'm everywhere. Anything with heroes. You can find me on streams, other people's streams. Sometimes I play with others, or I post a lot of barks on other channels. But yeah, best way to contact me, Twitter. Annoy me there. Give me your input. My DMs are always open for anything. Literally, you can come talk to me about your day. I will answer.
Send her pictures of dogs.
Send me pictures of dogs. Don't send me anything inappropriate, though. I will be upset.
Yeah, that.
That would be. Don't abuse the system.
You can also find our missing co-host, Multizord, on Twitter at Multizord. Send him pictures of nice things while he's in... Where's he going? Costa Rica. There we go. Send him...
Send him pina coladas.
Dank memes.
Dank memes.
There you
I'll
go.
send him pina coladas.
But that's going to do it for this week's show. We want to give a special thanks to our patron producer, Ouroboros Zord, for helping support the show. Thank you so much. That's going to do it, guys. Get in there. Get through your placement matches. Let's enjoy the new rank system. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bark, bark.